Yo, patrons. Hey, if I also have patrons on here, I will I have double screens out here. If you for some reason can't have your if your comments aren't showing up, I would use the Cryptillion text chat room. I'll have both beside each other, so there wouldn't be, priority over the other, since this is open to YouTube. And but sometimes I know that my spam wall catches stuff, so you can use either. And I'll try to make comment about that. All right. I don't know, Sequoia, but you inspired me to pick up a little bit more. So out of my out of the positions with which I did not become nimble, although I became nimble with a decent portion of my portfolio, the portions I didn't come nimble with, I readjusted some, and I sold some of those alts for more Bepro, because I saw something you said, like it's a second chance to buy back almost as low as we got in, like closer to point 002. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. And, if the market decides to dump, even though I don't think it will quite yet, then we can just sell out of it at a small loss, perhaps, once again, with the stuff we buy. But I think that's worth the calculated risk. So I think Bepro is now tied for my second large. It's right. It depends on whether Tone or Bepro is going up in that hour or whatever. But it's, I guess, tied for my second largest non-nimble position. But although, I do recommend, regardless of anything, even on HODL positions, what I've been suggesting to people on Patreon, but if Bitcoin gets to 48K, you will be able to get more Bepro if you got rid of some. I don't know if that's 100 bag or 20 bag or 10 bag or what, but the likelihood, regardless of where it is at that time, especially the Bepro that you were to buy now when it's under 0.005, particularly that you'd be able to buy back a lot more. But even the stuff that you might have bought closer to 1.6 cents because this horizontal broke on us here, and I actually bought a little bit more at a penny, right at like just under 0.11. So I'm at an okay loss at some of these. And you know what? I think my first, when I saw this happen, I actually think I sold at break even some of the stuff I bought originally at point, because I think I bought at 0.16 cents here, and then when it broke down, I sold it, but I sold it for a small profit on the way up. So most of my position currently on Bepro, since I sold the vast majority up here when I was telling everybody live on video, or on video, like literally as it was happening the exact same day, take profits. I sold the vast majority of it there, and I moved it into other things like MTV, which then ran up, Silo, which then ran up. But then I've been staking since then. So I still have all mine staked, so I'm at a loss at this, but I decided, you know what, let me dollar cost average in, because I don't think the bear market's happening based off of the monthly closures of Bitcoin. The way Bitcoin is closing the monthlies, that means not bear market, period. Like it's as simple as that. So bear markets don't happen when Bitcoin doesn't close below the monthly 10. It simply doesn't happen. So I decided with, the inspiration that I saw from your post, we're closing well above it. Great reaction. This month could turn around and come down here. I guess it could, but as of now, it's not. So the probability is on the side of not bear market. Now, if this month, it's got 12 days left. It's in 12 days it closes below 33 under this red line at 35,500 or so, then yeah, I might look to weasel out of a lot of positions, because I would suspect things would go much lower. But I don't think it's going to happen. Until the charts tell me it'll happen, or it's probable that it's going to happen, I'll stick with the idea that it's probable that it won't happen right now. So yeah. How much longer, though? I haven't even answered your question yet. Well, it's officially made a higher low. It looks like it's getting ready to make another higher low. And as Bitcoin's coming down here, it has a green candle. So above this, so this gray line will be a decent amount of resistance. I don't know. Once it busts above the, even though, you know, most YouTube community doesn't have this info, but I think, what is it, daily midterm ribbons, this gray line, once it busts above that gray line, that's right at 0.005. So once it closes the day above there, it's going to take off. That's just how that gray line works. So it will take off the very next day, maybe not. Maybe it'll come up and then come down and retrace on it and then build up. But in general terms, it won't be long after it closes above that. Let's see here, the 4-hour. It's on a cliff right now. It's kind of has a cliffhanger, because if it fails this compression of the 4-hour short ribbons, like something like that's going to happen. So either you pump from a compression or you drop from a compression. There's really no continued sideways, because that's what the compression is. You're getting ready to have a move, period. And sideways is not a move, and that's not an option with the ribbons. So yeah, if it fails this ribbon, then it's going to have to make a higher low and then try it all again. And that could be how long? 5 days? So yeah, it could fail this, make a higher low. That'd actually be kind of healthy. It would make a second higher low in a row. Yeah, actually, you know, that might be pretty healthy for it if it did that. So yeah, I would say maybe 5 days. It looks like it's going to fail this. Maybe it won't. It's got the 4-hour Stokes going for it. Bitcoin's getting ready to go up, I think. So if Bitcoin truly does, you know, start going back towards the daily 200 EMA, it might be above 0.005 by the end of so what time? You're 7 hours ahead of me. Well, shit, man. 7 in the morning. No, you're in the States now. So you're a couple hours behind me, probably in California or something. 3 hours behind. So California time by the end of tomorrow or in 5 days. That's what I would say. Yeah. Yeah, I miss covering altcoins. I really do. But there's just really no sense in covering altcoins till Bitcoin closes a week. I mean, there are some altcoins that are worth covering, like freaking Quant. My gosh. So glad somebody mentioned that on the Patreon live stream today. Matic is maybe worth covering. Hex is maybe worth covering, but everything else, I mean, maybe Ethereum, but that's about all I can think of. So you know, but you know, if you're dollar cost averaging in, there's going to be a time within, let's say, 8 months that you will look back, even at here, and realize, man, even though this happened, I wish I had bought more at a penny. I think that's a probable statement. Obviously, it'd be better to be buying it out here in that event, but let's assume that my trajectory of the market does, you know, it plays out somewhere similar to what I'm thinking, that Bitcoin will break all-time highs around late December, January, somewhere around there, roughly around Christmas, New Year's. You will look back and say, even this was, even a penny was low. Maybe not saying it's at 20 cents by, you know, like then, but it would be well on its track, you know, trying to meet these resistances by the time Bitcoin's make it closing on all-time highs, and Bepro probably make all-time highs after Bitcoin does, so maybe February. You know, I think altcoins would, but although there are some altcoins that are starting to pop, that had been weak and stable, and it's kind of going against my theory that the strong will stay strong, like just, I mean, OLT, it's not going to stop. I think this is going to continue, and I think COV is going to continue up too. I'm not saying right now is a great time to go market buy either of these, but I think the general trajectory over the next 3 weeks will be up, and I think they're going to either try to test their second highest high or their highest high for both coins, or local, not going back to the beginning of when they started, but of this year. I think that's where both of those coins are going to test, like within 4 or 5 weeks potentially. I mean, hell, this is COV's already almost tested this one, so it's probably going to test that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know why these types of coins would be popping. It's very strange, but it's mostly seen in the weekly short-term ribbons. Their weakness, the combination of its weakness and steadiness, for whatever reason, coming into, so this is the beginning of 2021. The combination of weakness and steadiness is creating it so bots are starting to buy it, and that's pretty much what's happening. The ribbons are getting ready to flip, and that's essentially what these ribbons tell you, is when are bots going to start buying an asset based off like the average composite of when bots, you know, how bots are programmed. That's pretty much what the ribbons tell you. They don't flip, ribbons flipping don't make price go up. They simply tell you, it's essentially visualizes when bots are going to start buying stuff. So, yeah, I find it kind of strange, but it's just a weird combination of weakness and stability. Yeah, so this is all of 2021. It was pretty weak, and they're getting ready to flip, so bots are going to buy it. That's just the way it worked out. So besides coins that are, having ribbons flipping up, most of coins, like even VeChain, VeChain is at risk of having its ribbons flip down. Okay? So are most other coins. If you just flip through almost all of these, bolts are already flipped down, and it's not even close to coming back up. But DAPPTs, risk of crossing down. Let's just go through it. So, no risk crossing down, but it hasn't even budged. Already crossed down, no chance of crossing up soon. That one looks kind of strong, but it's still at risk of crossing down. It's making lower highs. So that's at big risk of crossing down as well. Ideas to Young. Jars at risk of crossing down. Man is crossing down. I mean, just look. It's just totally different, and that's why those are popping. That's what I'm trying to explain to folks. Like, things don't pop because of the ribbons. It's just the ribbons show you when bots are going to buy it. MHC, risk of crossing down. This already is down. MTV at risk of crossing down. So it looks like it's trying to avoid this compression turning into a flip, but what's likely going to happen, it's probably going to make a lower high somewhere. But, it might not. The market it could turn around quicker than I'm thinking, but this is still at risk of crossing down because it got so hot so fast. This is crossing down. OPCT. Ooh, what's this one? Oh, that's OLT. I was going to say, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, so this is crossing up. It's like one of the only ones. Play, crossing down, at risk of crossing down. I skipped one. Ruby, it is crossing down. Cero, at risk of crossing down. Shaw, already crossed down. Silo, crossing down. Toko, that's why I got rid of some Toko to enter a lightly leveraged trade. Toko versus BTC is crossing down. Tone is crossing down. Trias is crossing down. So the ones that are crossing down, even though they were stronger, for some reason, I think my theory is going to end up being wrong. I don't know if the strong will be the first to go. It might be the weak and stable ones not because humans are necessarily buying them, is because people still have their bots on and the bots are starting to buy them. I think that's what's going to happen. I think those might be the first movers. It could be wrong, but that's what it looks like it's going to be. And there aren't very many of them because the most of the market got hot. So West, like, you know, a coin, I think this is my heaviest non-nimble position at risk of crossing down. So if Bitcoin gets to 48K, it would be wise if I tried to snag something at a lower high, for example. Versus West versus BTC at risk of crossing down, even though it was trying to make all-time highs. NULS, one of my HODL coins that I held through. I mean, I've held this since 2017. I'm still at a loss, which is why it's not good to. That's part of why I started, YouTubing and all that stuff, is try to help people not do what I did with a few of my assets. It's awful. I'm still at a loss on this crap, and I bought it back in like not even that late in the bull market. It's because coins started so high. They just snapped their fingers like this ICP company. What is it? That internet computer company. I told everybody stay the hell away from it like the plague. Like that sucker's gonna fall. You can't just snap your fingers and say, I'm the 8th biggest cryptocurrency, and if you do, you're gonna have horrible, horrible results. And because I already saw it on all of 2017. So like I don't know when. Maybe it was November. So, but I'm still at a loss. I was buying it like at $1. Then when I thought this was going to be a dip, I bought some at $2. Yeah, I'm still at a loss on this crap. But that's when I was brand new to crypto, and that's why I'm here to help folks. So even Grosso Coin and Viacoin crossing down. So everything's crossing down except for like 2. And those were 2 of the weaker but steady ones. And they're taking off before everything else. It's really weird. I really did not anticipate that. I find it very strange. So, all right. I kind of broke my promise. I got on a roll there. Got carried away, and I haven't looked at your question. Sorry. Hold on. I have my sound recording equipment here. It's kind of blocking my screen. Let me fix this. There we go. I don't do much live stuff, so sorry. All right, I need to go to the crackhead chat, the Cryptillion chat room. For patrons, if your messages aren't showing up, just use the Cryptillion one. I might not be able to. It looks like y'all are asking a lot. It might be too high. It might be too fast paced for me to keep up, folks. So, just in anticipation, it looks like I'm not going to be able to keep up with all the questions. Yeah, and I'm not for sure. Whoever asked that question, I am not for sure if you're a crackhead or a VIP or whatever. But I made a video about the 3 ribbon tricks, and that's included in there. And you just are like independently discovering, and which is good. That means you're studying charts. That's awesome. But you're independently discovering something I made a video on, and it's in the tutorial section of both VIP and Crypto Crackhead, the 3 ribbon tricks, and one of the tricks was taking off price completely and viewing the relationship of the ribbons with the gray line. So yeah, you're on it. Like, that's totally right. And that's honestly what Bitcoin could be doing right now. Even though I usually don't use my ribbons in public public stuff, but on the 1 hour long-term ribbons here, it looks like it really could fail. Like, even though I don't think it will fail, however, it looks like it absolutely could. And if it does fail, like it did here, it failed to stay above and it crashed back down. It could lead to a big drop. Just like the ribbons not being able to stay above. So actually take off price. And let me go to a cleaner chart. Yeah, it's a perfect analysis. What you did there is exact. Like, that's exactly how I think too. So this is the 1 hour. Yeah, the relationship of the ribbons with the gray line is huge. It tried to get above, even though the last line did get above, but you could tell very clearly it was getting compressed at the line. And right when this happened, and I feel bad about not seeing this drop because I had the tools in front of me that I developed and all this stuff, and I didn't look at enough time frames. And I apologize. I should have seen it. But I was so convinced because Ethereum and Cardano were also part of that Wyckoff orchestration. The people orchestrating the Wyckoff were pumping Cardano and Ethereum. It was not organic. So it was like the super perfect story. It was like, honestly, those orchestrators did a good job. Like, the way they handled the whole crypto market just by, handling three, big coins, they did a good job. They did it excellent, and I got fooled. And I shouldn't have been fooled, but I was fooled in so much that I didn't look for it. I was so confident with because of the combination of the sideways movement mixed with this massive drop here. I thought I know Bitcoin can correct just by going sideways, even though it doesn't have a history of doing that, but assets do that all the time. And you can correct by going down and correcting. So it already had a mixture of those two, and Ethereum and Cardano were charging up. I thought, well, crap. I think that's it. I think we're going to start maybe not screaming, but slowly going up. And I was too confident with that, and I chose not to look hard enough. So, but yeah, you're totally right. And what you said just about played out here as well. See, you can see how the lowest ribbon barely got above it. So with the idea that it barely got above, and then all these started taking a negative slope, that should have been like the warning shots right there. Even before it, yeah, and when they started flipping, even before price came down here, I should have known. But I don't know, I'm not perfect. So all right. Anyway, let me go back to I'm on the crackhead. I need to be on Cryptillion. Yeah, so Joseph asked, BTC, when it's going up, can pull altcoins and pull altcoins up. And if an altcoin goes up above a daily major EMA like the 10 or 21, price will shoot up. That's common. Whenever you have price close a candle above either a horizontal of resistance and it finally closes above, the next day is almost always green. Same with EMAs. If you can close above that, because Bitcoin's rally is bringing the altcoin above that, the next day would be big green. That's a very common play. Very, very common play. All right, let me look at some of these YouTube questions here. Yeah, me too. Yeah, so Koi, I will. Yeah, my Bepro, I'm gonna keep my 2 million stake position, even if it takes me a stubborn 3 years to hopefully it's not as bad as what my position in NULS is, because Bepro didn't snap their fingers and say we're worth $100 million. They didn't do that. We were getting in it when it was a $15 million market capitalization, so the chance of that happening is really low. But yeah, I'm gonna keep mine staked too. All right, so checking out BNB. I have a lot of squigglies on this chart. So, even without price, just looking at my short-term weekly ribbons, it's definitely at risk of crossing down. I must have been talking about silver and gold and monetary coins here. That was a long time ago. That must have been the first time I ever talked about that, because I'm using 1/16 and 1/30 something. That was probably talking about Viacoin on this chart. But yeah, I mean, just the structure here, whenever it gets positioned like this, I mean, historically, it ends up crossing down. After a run, if it's positioned like that, I think it's crossed down every time. Yes, it has. Oh, no, it gave one more small push before it then crossed down. But yeah, so this would be the actual first time that there is a potential cross down that didn't cross down. So that's not looking very good. However, there's only 2 data points. So is that statistically significant? It's actually not. Like, it's factually not statistically significant. You can't have any statistical significance off a data size of 2. So putting price back on, yeah, it looks like it's making lower highs. So is Ethereum, though. Really, Bitcoin's stealing the show right now, folks. Bitcoin's making higher highs, and every single time frame that's big is in an uptrend. The weekly's in an uptrend, the daily's in an uptrend. Ethereum, BNB, that's a downtrend. It will be in a downtrend until it makes a higher low and a higher high. So it has to do something like, it can't just go above this high. It has to go above that high and make a higher low and then start heading up. That's when it's an uptrend. So there's really no hope. You know, you shouldn't cross your fingers for something like that until that happens. Because right now it looks like it's not going to happen quite yet. So you can look at the daily. Yeah, it's below its daily short ribbons. Yeah, it's pressure down. Yeah, this is going to make, it's almost definitely going to retest this horizontal here. So BNB is definitely like 80+% chance headed back towards, wait, no, this is ETH, damn it. So yeah, but BNB and ETH look similar. So ETH is really headed towards 2100 again. And then BNB is headed towards, there are too many zones here. I would say somewhere between all this activity and that wick here, somewhere, I think it's headed in this box. Or lower. But I bet the daily 200, if I pop up the normal EMAs on the daily, I almost guarantee the daily 200's about here. What do you want to bet? Watch. Oh, it's higher. So it might not hit that box. Structurally, it looks like this box. EMA-wise, it looks like here, but it could wick down and then just charge right back up in a day or two. So, yeah, if you're looking up to pick up more BNB, if you can get it, you know, around 270 or lower, that likely could be a pretty good buy. Assuming Bitcoin doesn't fail to get above its daily 200. If Bitcoin doesn't get above its daily 200, it's going to come down here. It's going to come down to 130 or lower. I mean, if Bitcoin crashes, altcoins are going to crash severely. Like they will literally lose 95% of their value if Bitcoin keeps crashing. I'm telling you, that's exactly what will happen. And I have to expand the chart to even get that far. Yeah, it'll come down to here. It'll probably lose 93% of its value. So it'll lose all of its run from 2021. If Bitcoin does that. I don't think Bitcoin's going to do it, though. So I have my earphones on so I can listen to music. I don't know why I'm not doing that. Give me just a quick second here. Okay. Okay, let me read some of your questions. Yeah, so Sequoia, provided it's not a bear market, I mean, I would say between 2 and 5 days. I think Bepro would likely be above its 0.005 in 5 days. Very, very, very likely, to be very specific. All right, Safe Moon. I'm weary of Uniswap, folks. Its chart doesn't look bad, though. I'm actually kind of surprised right now. That's kind of impressive. It's going up. It's going to break its all-time high. Yeah, it's making higher lows. Low, higher low. It's going to break this. Now, if Bitcoin starts tanking to 24K, it won't. But if Bitcoin even stays steady and goes down to 35, I think SafeMoon's going to break this. I think SafeMoon's pounds to make all-time highs. That looks like a really good chart. I don't know anything about SafeMoon. I bet its weekly short-term ribbons aren't even close to... Oh, it's too young. Doesn't have it. Damn it. 4 hour. Oh, yeah. It might be prepping for a big move. Because usually when it compresses its ribbons and has a kind of a fake out deal, that was a pretty big move. And it did a squiggly like 3 or 4 times. I think it's ready to blast. I don't think this is going to make a lower high. This is absolutely poised to bust through that. Probably, I mean, perhaps with a vengeance. But really, I think it does depend on Bitcoin as well. But if Bitcoin does make a journey up to 40, even 46K, this is going to bust this. It's going to break that. The candles. I don't know if it's going to break that wick, but it's gonna get above these candles. And that's the 4 hour chart. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, it's going to get above this. Whatever the hell that number is. I don't know what kind of coin this is with those big of numbers. That's really weird, but I don't know. This looks weird to me. But it's a good chart. But the numbers look weird. BNB, what did I say? Under 370. That box, man. I drew the box. Under 270 is a good deal. If you can catch it, even if you can catch it at 288, that could be a pretty good buy too. Because that would be under the daily 200, which is right here. All right, I already covered OLT. Yeah, OLT's in an uptrend. It looks like it's going to keep going. Yeah. It's going to keep going. Now, if you bought when it was way above the 4 hour 10 EMA, I mean, I can't help you out there. Like, I didn't say buy now. I just said it's going to break out. So when there's going to be something on a breakout and it's way above its 4 hour 10, you probably want to wait until it hits the 10 or the 21 at least. At least. Because if it's really far above the 10, that means it just got hot. So wait till it cools down, recharges, and it'll take back off if the trend continues. Like, you don't want to buy stuff that are... Honestly, I don't buy any big green candles above this. I wait until it hits the 10 bare minimum. I usually want to wait for the 21. My sweet spot is the 55. Ethereum loves to hit the 4 hour 55. So with Ethereum and strong moves, if you think it's going to keep going, you just wait till it wicks down to the 4 hour 55 and you buy it. So this actually played something similar to Ethereum, and if you want to see what I'm talking about, so if you bought it up here, you know, think of me as your metal detector. Right? I said this on a live stream today, but it's a good analogy. I can zone it in on you, beep at you, but I can't dig it for you. I can't tell you the exact pinpoint spot it is. You might have to dig a hole that wide. And if you dig it that wide, it might be over here. It might be a foot deeper than what that's beeping is telling you, right? Like, you got to do some digging. So, you know, that's an example of, you know, if you bought it up here, do more digging, all right? You know, don't use your metal detector to dig. You're going to think this is a crappy metal detector, right? But it's not supposed to dig. It's supposed to alert. It's supposed to beep at you. The general direction, right? So, you know, don't look at me as your metal detector and say I didn't dig, because I'm not supposed to. Now, if you're a house member, I will be the shovel too. That's the point of that. But I do dig for them. All right, so yeah, OLT's it's in an upswing. It's gonna keep going. That's bad. That's looking real bad. Yeah, that's one of the worst charts I've seen. I mean, if you're in that coin, I don't know even what to suggest to you. You're kind of out of luck. I know I never really suggested this coin. I think I got asked about it a lot. Yeah, that's really bad. I don't know. I structurally what it might do over time, and this might take till August. It'll probably come up here, get rejected, come base back down on here, and then give it another try. That might take till July to happen though, or even August. It's going straight down, and it's in price discovery down, so it's likely going to keep going. That is the probability. It is not probable that it stops right there. That's not a good chart. That's the exact opposite of safe moon. Yeah, I know. I've been going real hard. Somebody asked, why are people going to buy Bepro in the future? I will refer you to the Crypto Rodeo Show. Crossing down. Oh, okay. What do I mean by crossing down? Here, you see how green is on top, red is on bottom, these other colors in the middle. If the green is on bottom and the red is on top, that means it's going down. But before that all happens, it flips. See this? It's flipping, turn down. And very clearly, these ribbons gave you the heads up on when to get the hell out of Ethereum at the exact right moment. The 4-hour short ribbons are pretty powerful. You can literally make a living trading off of them. Yeah, and what I was saying earlier, though, about Ethereum in a strong move, it's similar to Ethereum kind of coming down and hitting this white line, essentially. The 4-hour on strong moves, it's wicks. Oh, wow. No, it didn't even go down to the 55 there, did it? Oh, damn. That was that. So that makes it obvious this was an orchestrated move. This obviously was not. This was all. Yeah, this was part of the Wyckoff move. This is not how Ethereum moves. This was orchestrated very clearly. That's not how Ethereum moves, period. I already know how Ethereum moves, and that's not how it does it. That's not how it goes on pumps. This is how it goes on pumps. Right here. See the difference? Sometimes it wicks to it like, you know, at 89, but a lot of times I like to catch this right there. That's just how it moves. So this is more, you know, to the effect of, I don't feel so bad about getting fooled by the Wyckoff pattern because it wasn't just one asset. They were essentially fucking around with the three biggest, like some of the biggest assets in all of crypto. Yeah, this is them. This is the same people. This is not the general market. It doesn't move that way. It doesn't do it, and it won't ever do it unless somebody's orchestrating it to try to trick people in to thinking Bitcoin is done correcting. I should have been able to see that. I should have seen, hey, it's never wicked down to here, and I know it did. I'm surprised I don't know, I just stopped checking all my time frames, and I'm sorry. I should have seen that. Yeah, I can't stay on this live stream for too long. I only slept for like 2 hours and 45 minutes last night. Or Maddox, I don't know. I don't. That's a good question. So JK asked, does the bull run continuation seem more probable than a massive glory hole, which means Bitcoin drops down to like 23K or so? As of now, yes. But it's all writing on this month's close. So if this month, let me go to a cleaner chart here. If this month closes above this red line, then you have a way more than 50% chance that the bull run will continue. But I think the 4-year cycle will still be over. So all those people who had been mentioning that, oh, this bull run should be different, and I mentioned, okay, if it is different the way you mean, it's going to actually be bad. Like, it's not going to be what you think. It's going to be different in a way that you're not wanting. It's definitely not going to mean up forever. It'll actually mean the bull market might end sooner, right? I said that on multiple videos on YouTube, and I think even a live or two. And so I think that's actually what's happening. Instead of ending sooner, I think it's just not going to move in bull runs anymore. I think it's going to move in waves. And then it might go on like multi-year consolidation, almost like gold. And then continue up, like going past 1 million, by 2030 or something. I think it'll do something like that. And you'll have a 3-year consolidation period instead of this shit. Like, I think that's all done. I think people putting $1,000 on Verge and being a millionaire in 6 weeks, like some punk high schooler, which happened. There are a lot of high schoolers became millionaires with Verge. Did they sell? I don't know. Maybe they ruined their chance to be a millionaire and they watched it all disappear and drop 99%. But I think those days are over. Even if this monthly closes well, which I suspect it will, but it might not. So it all depends. My answer depends on how this monthly closes. And if it closes red, then I would say it's like an 80% chance Bitcoin's going to cut. The glory hole will happen. If it closes above, I don't know if it has an 80% chance. I would say maybe 70 or something, slightly less. Because if it closes like this, small and green, the next month could go down. This is a big month for Bitcoin, folks. I don't know if any other traders are saying that, but this is a monumentally important monthly closing. That's happening in 13 days. 4 hours less than 13 days. Monumentally. Like, this is one of the most important monthly closings, since this one here. And that's what I posted on my Facebook for all my friends. Like, you need to buy Bitcoin. It's going to pass 24K before December. And actually, I was low. It went up to 29. No, I thought it hit 32. No, it hit 29.2. I was a little low. But yeah, because of that monthly close, I knew it would start screaming. So, and that was a monumentally important candle closing for Bitcoin right there. Right when that candle closed there, and this month started coming up here, I knew, I started getting heavier into crypto right then. And I tried to convince more and more people to get in, but no one wanted to join until about February, of course, when everything was obviously green. So if this undulation stuff happens, I think they could hit their price prediction, but more like May at the earliest in next year. I think so. The way I have my chart set up with my origin lines, I have white lines vertical, or no, they're green here. I have green lines on the Januaries. I might just have to move those. So I think Bitcoin can end up respecting, it will end up respecting these origin lines. It always has, and it probably will. but it might not hit the white line. It might, the next wave might only hit the third highest, and that might be in May. And then it might do the same damn stuff, but based on this origin line, and then make a swipe up to the white line. And that could be in, you know, that could be like December of 2023. So therefore, like, all those predictions will either be here or they'll be way out here. I don't know how it's going to roll because this has never happened in Bitcoin's history. So we're going to have to wait to find out. But I think those price predictions will be intact. And actually, they could be end up too low. But if they are intact, it's just the timing of it is not intact. So yeah, I think they're still intact. It's just I don't think those price predictions are going to happen by December. I think May. Like, just kind of like, you know, looking at here's why I'm thinking May. I think I'm thinking May. Hold on. If you just take a fib, or not a fib, I don't like fibs. If you take a fractal of this last move from height to where it closed green candles above the monthly 10. So since we're closing above the monthly 10, I will align that last one with like either this current candle or maybe move it over 1 month or something like that. Move it to be on par with the monthly 10 and go like this. I think it aligns. Yeah, it aligns with May 1st. Exactly. So that's why I'm thinking. I think Bitcoin might reproduce this type of move to a certain degree. Yeah, I think it might be. I think it might keep moving in a very similar way. Similar to like somebody asked me about Trias. Actually, speak of the devil. Similar to how Trias was doing. Each of its runs were almost identical. And so it's not unreasonable to take fractals all the time. All like this, these runs were almost identical. Boom, boom, boom. So I think Bitcoin might do something like this, but on a bigger scale. Right? So, for example, watch. Let me prove my point. Even though it doesn't look like it, watch. Watch this. From height to a little bump. So I will take the little bump and I will move it here. And I will extend it so it's the same width as this. Look. It was smaller, but it was the same exact shape as what ended up playing out. So if I had to do something like that to Bitcoin, right, which could happen, I think so that something like that could happen, which mean the price points would be intact, and it might be next December that Bitcoin does this. It might be a whole year delay, but it'll be higher and more glorious. That's totally possible too. So I'll go back to the week and I'll take a fractal, that same fractal, and I will stretch it out just a tiny bit. See, I didn't have to stretch it out much to hit that white line. And actually that didn't take it to December. That took it to June, so not much later. So really, just like it fit perfectly Trias, if I did something like that and it moved very similarly, but more spaced out just a little bit, but almost the same type of move, those price predictions would stay intact. It's just the timing of them would be delayed. And honestly, I think I don't know if it'll hit that white line on the next push, but it could. There's a lot of stuff going for Bitcoin. I'll either do that, or what I think might be more likely is it does one of these. It might take 2 pushes to get there, and if it does take 2 pushes, that means it'll hit like $1 million. Like, that's $1 million. This is increasing, so it'd be even more glorious. So even though it wouldn't be a glory hole, it would be kind of a glory hole because shit, $1 million. Yeah, I mean, just guess how high Bepro would be at that time with Bitcoin at $1 million. It'd be insane. No, I mean, Trias is at risk of crossing down. I mean, even though it's too young of an asset to use the weekly, but it's just making lower highs and lower highs. It's just like Ethereum. So what it looks like it needs to do, it needs to prove this as support. But guess what? Bitcoin's already done. It already wicked down and did that. So I think Ethereum and Trias are going to move identically for a while. So whatever Ethereum does, I think Trias will be doing too, is my answer. Let's just go back and forth between charts. Watch. Okay, see that chart? All right, hold on. Let me do that again. Watch. Trias. Ethereum. Trias. Let me clean it up. Watch. Trias. Ethereum. Trias. See what I'm saying? So whatever Ethereum does, Trias is going to do, period. Because Ethereum leads the alts typically. Unless you're OLT and co-vesting. And SafeMoon and Hex. So yeah, I think I don't know, it really looks like Ethereum needs to either prove this as support or it needs to prove a higher low. Yeah, I really see Ethereum hitting. I think it's going to hit this box, folks. Oh yeah, I made a video. I don't know if it was a live stream or what, but somebody asked me the question. I said, I'm going to leave this box exactly here. I don't know at what point Ethereum will hit that. I don't know if it's going to be there or here. I don't know if it'll just ping off the top, hit the middle, or hit the bottom. But I said I will leave this box here because I think Ethereum's price will hit it. Even if it just grazes it like this, I still think it's going to hit it. Just like during my live chat today, I said Bitcoin, I will leave this on the daily chart. I said I will leave this pink box here because everybody was getting scared because it was going lower and all that stuff. And I said, okay, I bet it closes here. And guess where it closed? Everybody's getting scared here. It goes, and it closed like in the middle of the box I put. So I kind of like to do that sometimes. So because I just understand how a price moves, and I know I have a pretty good chance of it happening, if not better than 50%. So that's why I kind of like to do those, games or experiments just to see what happens. Because I'm more of a lot of my trading is intuitive because of studying how things move, like the behavior of the price, like a behavior nano, like I keep saying. Quack. All right. Safe Moon Reverse. I don't know what Safe Moon Reversed means. I don't know what. I just clicked Safe Moon. Safe Moon. Safe Moon 2. This chart looks even better. Here, let's do this. Oh, I don't have it on this computer. Darn it. Yeah, this chart looks even better. It is great. Let me look up it here. Well, that chart doesn't look quite as good. But that's versus the dollar, not versus ETH. So if ETH is falling and SafeMoon stays stable, that means it's going up on the ETH chart. So, but that's still good. 10.16. So it had a 50% drop from here. That's about par for the course versus the dollar. But in general, it looks like it's going to stay strong, though. I just like the looks. That's a good chart. Like, that's a massively bullish chart. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know if I'm looking at the right one. Yeah, I mean, I've personally never really relied on looking at options closing. I've never had really many surprises in my top 3 not playing out, even on a 1-day scale. So because I've never had really any surprises, to the point where I say to myself, I need to add something to my trading repertoire, I can just see whatever I need to see in the charts already with the basic tools I have. Yeah, I don't think I've ever, there are some exceptions. This shit right here, I didn't expect that, but it's rare. It's not a common thing. So, I mean, maybe don't knock it till you try it. But I do listen. You guys know who I listen to. So yeah, I do pay attention to what he's saying on those things, but I just don't know how much that influences the market. So, but it might. But I don't. I'm not a. That's not how I trade. So, I'm not a good source of information on that. See, guys, I don't know everything, right? Yeah, I'm not an options trader. I would love to learn how to trade options during a choppy long term. So I wish I knew how to trade options in 2019 to 2020. And because of my, decent TA background, I think I would have done well had I known how to trade options. Because I think options traders make the most money in this type of movement. This is their paradise. And so even though we're in a sideways market now, it's nothing compared to how long this was. So I don't know, maybe in another 4 years, I'll know how to do it pretty well. But I wanted to have the goal to learn options to a basic degree by the end of this year. But that was assuming the bull market, stayed normal. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm caught up on questions, I think, besides Dent. And I mean, quack, quack, quack. Hell, I could go get a duck if you want. Oh, those things shit everywhere. Ducks eat a lot and they drink a lot of water. They drink insane amounts of water. And that's partly why they grow like 8 times faster than chickens. I thought chickens grew fast. Hell no. Ducks, they explode. I mean, one day their wings are stubby little bastards like this, and you look at them in 3 days and they're white with big wings and they're flapping around. It's insane. Ducks' growth development is crazy. Quack, 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 quack. And it's kind of funny too that when they're being quiet, if that ever happens, if I ever hear them quiet, I'll quack at them and I'll go quack, and they'll go quack, 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 quack. So I must have a good quack call because it definitely fools them. It definitely gets them going. Yeah, MTV. Yeah, I'm staking MTV. I'll take a look at that. I mean, I'm not really into looking at alts right now. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to avoid something. It looks like it's getting sucked into something. So if I looked hard enough, I would assume this price action might be more related to getting sucked up into something. I don't know what that is, but let's take a look. It might be a ribbon. No, it actually looked like it based off of the bottom of the ribbon and is breaking out of it. That looks like not a bad move. I'm not gonna lie. That looks like it's that move. That move's probably gonna be sustained. So all this price action kind of made a new line here. Unfortunately, you got a bunch of lines on MTV. I think this price, yeah, I think that's enough juice to get here. How about I leave the box there? I think it'll get in this box. It honestly could pass it, but I think it's at least going to get to that box. It might, yeah. I don't see it getting rejected by this. A lot of times that's a common play to get rejected by all this resistance here, but that's a lot of juice it's got in it. I think it's going to come down a little bit before it goes at it, though. I think it's crossing the daily short ribbons. I think it's going to want to retrace into it, base off of them, and then try it again. Kind of like what OLT is doing. OLT on the 4-hour chart did this, and then it came down and is retesting them, and then it's going to continue its move. I think MTV on the daily chart is going to do the same thing. But honestly, if it goes straight up here, I mean, if you're not staking it, that might be an okay place to put limit sells. Not financial advice. Limit selling Pokemon cards, of course, because this is for entertainment. Oh, Dogecoin shit. Ah, it's not now. It was. The last time I checked it, it was doing this crap. Yeah, it's pressure down. So just like Ethereum, it's actually moving just like Ethereum again now. Watch. Doge, Ethereum, Doge, or let me stretch it out. Doge, Ethereum, Doge. It's pretty close. Doge had a bigger run up here. I wonder if I can do this, cut it, go to Doge, and paste it. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Nope. It's pretty similar. So I bet they're both going to try to hit their daily 200 EMA. Ooh, Doge is way down here. Ugh. It's not good for Doge. I don't know. I think Doge is getting ready to fly down. Look. Usually, the 10 and the 89 cross, it has a big effect. Like, really big effect. If you don't believe me, watch this. The weekly... This is literally what initiated the capitulation of the last bear market. Look. The 10 and the 89 squeeze play down is a big squeeze. Look. See that? Squeeze play. Bam. It's powerful. And it kind of squeezed it back up too. Look. See that? Powerful. See that? And it was going to get squeezed down, and it was going to have a powerful move down, but institutions were in this game now, and they said, wait, let's buy a bunch of Bitcoin, lure people into taking longs so we can take on shorts, and then we'll sell all of our Bitcoin and make money on the way down and buy our Bitcoin down here, back. That's exactly what happened. It was going to get squeezed down. This was all orchestrated. I would guess it is. It might not have been, but it sure as hell looks like it was to me. Yeah, that squeeze play. Yeah, like this doesn't look natural. But you know, I guess it's natural now because institutions playing in major assets is normal, and they have permission too. As long they're not doing anything illegal. They can take shorts just like you and me. They can buy and sell just like you and me, and just because they have more money doesn't mean it's not fair. You just have to learn what price looks like with them involved. And honestly, it's a good thing because it's more volatile with them in it. Volatility equals money as long as you know you're prepared for it. So, yeah, so that's what was it, Dogecoin? Yeah, Dogecoin is at big risk right now. I think it's getting ready to be squeezed down. But it is going to pop one way or another. It's either going to get squeezed up or it's going to get squeezed down. It's not going to continue going sideways. I will tell you that right now with 95+%. It's big level of certainty. It will not keep going sideways much longer. I mean, this month you will have resolution of that. This month. Let's see if Ethereum's doing that. It's kind of scary. Ooh. I think Ethereum's getting ready to take a shit. Wow, I didn't notice that. I think Ethereum's getting ready to accelerate down. Unless it behaves a little bit differently in Bitcoin. Let's see how this has panned out in the past. So it avoided the squeeze play there. Didn't have a big power move up, but it initiated the bull market. So avoiding this squeeze initiated its bull market. Look. It literally initiated the entire bull market. Avoiding that squeeze. I mean, so in a sense, it was powerful. No, Ethereum doesn't have a history of playing that. Let's look at it. Oh, I'm looking on the daily. That's why. Let's look at it on the 2-day. See, all coins behave slightly differently, so you got to view the charts slightly differently. I don't know. It doesn't behave the same, so maybe it won't fall. In Bitcoin, though, Bitcoin does historically. So maybe Doge won't get squeezed too much because Ethereum has kind of ignored it in the past, so maybe I'm wrong on that. In Bitcoin, though, it's historically really, really bad. Because Ethereum is usually already going crazy far down before there's no squeeze play. It's already like accelerating before it's squeezed. So these aren't real squeeze plays. That's interesting. So maybe it won't. Maybe it won't take a dump. It ignored it in the past. That's strange. So maybe Doge won't scream down. Maybe it'll just flounder around. But honestly, it looks like it's going to be affected by it. I don't know. This looks like it's going to get squeeze play. But it could avoid it. So kind of like Ethereum in October 2020, it was that close too. And the avoiding of that squeeze is essentially, it marked I don't know if that's what did it, but it marked almost perfectly the beginning of its bull market move. Look, so this could be what Doge is doing right now. So even though Ethereum typically, when these lines cross, so if you take off price, Ethereum simply doesn't get trapped between these often. But the one time it did lead to a powerful, 6-month-long move. But Ethereum doesn't have a history of playing a squeeze at all on these lines, but Doge is. So, I don't know, something powerful is going to happen on Doge. And this could squeeze it up to 75 cents a dollar. It really could. You can see how these lines were converging here too. Not quite close enough to call it a squeeze play though. So, I don't know. It looks like pressure's down though. I don't know. It doesn't look good. But if it avoids it, it's going to be a really good thing for Doge. Yeah, the ribbons still look pretty strong. I don't know. It's got a chance. You got a weekly Stoke cross up. But then again, it does flounder around here sometimes. But if it can turn up here, it would probably be a pretty powerful move. Let's see if it ever gets rejected there. Has Doge ever come down to this? So it's only used this as resistance, but previous resistance becomes future support, this zone. So I don't know. Maybe it'll squeeze up. Doge actually might squeeze up. I kind of take that back. It's kind of in the air right now. I can't tell from these tools. RSI is kind of pointing in the down direction, though. It looks like RSI wants to take a stab down here, which would imply down. 2 day. 2 days already reset. That's a good sign. But 2 day only has, it doesn't have a history of pinging off that line. And this parabolic move doesn't really count. Like, you got to have an extended move, and it doesn't. With an extended move, it's never just bounced off that line. So honestly, it looks like it's going to get squeezed down, but maybe I'd give it a 60-40. Doge squeezing down, Doge squeezing up. That's what I would give it. It's kind of up in the air right now, though. But my gut's saying down, but I would not be comfortable. So I don't think my statistical probability is just based off of looking at this quickly. I would not be comfortable, trying to short if this came up and made a lower high. I personally would not be comfortable taking that because I don't like a 60. If I feel that my odds are only 60%, I don't take the trade. I like to feel like, get the feeling that I'm 70% plus or type of deal. So yeah, it's got some hope in it, but my opinion is down. But then again, my opinion doesn't matter. Just the idea that you are taking statistically probable trades over time and you make money with that, that's all that matters. Even if your statistical probable trades are going to be wrong for like 3 times out of 10, who cares? That's what's going to happen. That's what happens to great traders. They're wrong. I mean, hell, sometimes they're wrong 7 times out of 10 because they manage their losses so well. In those 3 right times, they milk their gain so much, it's 50-fold the 7 times that they took small losses. So honestly, great traders, they can be wrong way more than 50% of the time, as long as they're great risk managers. That's a common misconception. Like, I have people in my Discord, like even today, and that's fine. It's an honest question. Like, somebody said, but trying to like point out something like, you said yesterday's candle was, you said today or yesterday was going to be green, but it was red. I'm like, well, yeah, at the time, it was a slightly statistical probability that today's candle was going to be green. Oh, I eliminated price. And the reason why I said that, but did I say I'm going to take a trade off that? Did I recommend somebody take a trade off that? No, I didn't. You didn't ask those questions, and I didn't say those things. However, the reason I said that, for example, is, let me go to a cleaner chart, darn it. I just need to add this chart. What am I doing? So the reason I said that I thought it was likely today was going to be green is because I liked how this checked the daily 10 and had a pretty decent reaction and closed right at or above the daily 21. And if you go back in all the times in history that this played out in an uptrend where Bitcoin has made a higher low and a higher high, whether it's the first one or the last one, it doesn't matter. If you go back in a daily uptrend to that, you're going to be way more than 50% probable that it's going to be. If you don't believe me, actually, I haven't backtested it. I really don't know the answer, but that's my feel. So let's take a look. I might be totally wrong on this. All right, let's start here. So you have crawling out of a bear market, have a higher low, no higher highs, higher high. Okay, so this is where it starts. All right, so lo and behold, the first example, right, in the exact same context, it's the first higher low and higher high. The first time I had a good reaction of it, the next several days were green. So let's do some more examples though. Where was I? I need to keep this chart really clean without any lines on it, though. So I was right here. So first, a higher low and higher high. First one, bam. Let's do another one. Checks the 10. Good reaction off of it. Next 3 candles green. Checks the 10. Good reaction. Next several candles green. Are you getting the picture now? Like, you know, like why I said, like, so it's just really common play. If it checks the 10, has a good reaction, a good close, it's likely going to be green the next day. Is it an 80% probable trade? No. It's not. So there it didn't hit the 10. That doesn't count. Here it checked the 10, had an okay reaction. The next day was red. But it's a doji and then a big green. So that might, I think that's about what's ready to happen. I kind of think today is a scare down. I don't know. I have a feeling today's going to either close a doji or it's going to close green. And if it does close a doji like this, the next day will be big green. So let's see more uptrend stuff. Higher low, not a higher high, so not technically an uptrend. Okay, higher low, higher high. All right, so higher low, higher high again, back in an uptrend. Checks it, good reaction, green candle. Uptrend, checks it, good reaction, green candle. See that? So it's just what happens. But it doesn't always happen. So that's why I said that to that person. And how did I get on this? All that matters is that you're constantly entering statistically probable trades. And, you know, you don't care if that works out or not. It doesn't matter. All you care about is continuously entering statistically probable trades and managing your risk. And you can make a living doing this. And if you ever hear somebody say, you know, wait, but you said today was going to be green and it wasn't, you know, you need to like help that person understand that making that comment means they don't understand the most fundamental thing about making money and trading. A good trader doesn't freaking care. They don't care if they were wrong on this. They can be wrong 7 out of 10 times. Hopefully they're not though. But all they care about is, you know, if they let this close and maybe waited for a, you know, I don't know, if they took a long somewhere in this day, that was a statistically probable trade. If it doesn't work out, you manage your risk, get out, and wait for the next statistically probable setup, which I took today. And I added to my long right here. I think my average entry's here. I did it on a video, and I shared it with my crackheads and VIPs. Because this is one of the most statistically probable trades I have seen in a while for my trading style. Taking along here was so statistically probable to work out for the next, I don't know, at least the next 3 days. I'll probably take profits when it comes here, but super statistically probable trade per my trading style and how I analyze things. So do I care if this works out? No. I just care that I feel that it was very statistically probable. And if over time I start losing money, I need to readjust my calibrations of what's statistically probable. But as of now, it's working out pretty well for me. So now holding on to altcoins during this did not work out very well. It didn't work out for well anybody. I mean, even the biggest crypto YouTuber on the interwebs even said, I'm down $100,000 on ICP. At least he's honest about it. That's good. I commend him for that. Even though I warned everybody on my channel, stay the fuck away from that. You don't snap your fingers and say I'm worth $8 billion or whatever they did. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway. So what else do we got? All right, I think I'm gonna have to go to bed here. If I'm not getting so I was Toko. Yeah, I actually sold some Toko today to take on a leverage trade. Toko looks like it's just gonna flounder around a little bit. I think it might end up leveling off. It kind of looks like the dash chart, really. It's not looking bad, but it's not looking promising. It's not even making lower highs. It's still yet to make a low. Like it looks like it hasn't even put in a low. So it might like establish a low and start coming up, but it looks like it's trying to put a U shape in. That's what it looks like it's trying to do. And that's slightly different than Trias, which is clearly making these with a lot of separation, but all this kind of mends together, and it looks like it might create a U-shaped recovery. So because if it's a U-shaped recovery, in the best case, it's still going to take time, I decided to take my money out of it with the idea that if I can leverage trade pretty well with it, and even 50% increase in my holdings, I can buy more Toko when it's low before it takes off, right? That's kind of my plan. Or decide to buy something else. But yeah, I kind of like Toko. But it's not getting ready to take off, I'll tell you that, like OLT and co-vesting. Yeah, Jack. So I understand that you're trying to be a smartass, but the answer is yes. And the fact that you're being a smartass, try thinking that you actually are being a smartass, you're actually kind of embarrassing yourself. That literally is correct. So if you don't have a probable trade because the analysis is telling you that, so you did understand correctly, right? And you think my answer's stupid. I get it. But the fact that you think you're being smart with that comment means I'm trying to help you. I'm not mad at you. I totally get how stupid it sounds. I understand, dude. But just listen to me. Listen to me. That's how it is sometimes, and that's when you don't take a trade. Do you understand this? When you cannot see a statistically probable scenario, you stay the hell out of the trade. You don't make guesses, or you're going to be gambling, and you will lose your money over time. You might think you're a genius first, but you're going to lose it all. So, yes, that is my answer. And it's a good answer. If you can ever have a conversation with somebody who knows how to trade, they will, and they've sustained a profit over a period of time, not just 6 months. I'm saying they make a living. If you can ever have a conversation with them and go over, this scenario of a YouTuber yelling at you, but not in a bad way. I'm not mad at you. I totally understand how stupid it sounds. I understand. But if you ask somebody this, they will agree with me. There are situations where it could go either way. And if it looks like it could be an explosive move, and that's all the data's saying, and you can't tell which way it's going to go, you don't enter that trade in a one-way street. You don't do it. There could be ways to enter it long and take options, cover yourself short. You can do that. But you just don't make a guess at it going up. So you either stay out of the trade or pick one and you hedge your losses with something else in the other way, which is like kind of equivalent of staying out of the trade, really. You didn't just pick one. So yes, that is the answer. But I think Ethereum's could go sideways because Ethereum's has ignored a lot of squeeze plays. I haven't seen Doge ignore squeeze plays. So I don't know how likely this Doge continues to go sideways. I really think it's getting ready to get squeezed. So I don't know if I said that it could go sideways. I actually doubt it will go sideways. I think Ethereum could go sideways because it has a history of doing so and ignoring this. Doge does not have a history of ignoring this. It just doesn't have a history with it. Actually, yeah, you got a squeeze play right there. You got a squeeze play. Look, it actually does. Look. So yeah, I don't think sideways is a probable option. It respects this. It respects it. It respects it. And when it came back above, it really popped. So this is a fake out. But it was still explosive. That's the thing. Based on the 10 and the 89. So yeah, I think you might, either I misspoke or you are mixing in my analysis with Ethereum. It's possible I misspoke. I didn't mean to say that I think this, I don't think that's the most likely. It might be the third most likely that it just flounders sideways and down, maybe, but I think it's much more probable that you're going to get an explosive move up or down. However, I think the third most probable is it flounders sideways and down. So the answer to your question is still yes, but I think this is a far less likely scenario. So I hope that helps, because the fact that you say it that way means you're not understanding, like, when you're pressing buy. And that's why I'm here to help you. Like, that's how I start off every damn video of mining. Like, I start off my videos this way every single time for a reason. That's literally what I'm trying to help do. I'm trying to do just that. I'm trying to help you understand what you're looking at and what the hell you're doing when you're clicking buy, which also means to know when to not click buy, because you can't tell. So if you don't believe me, go back on my videos and watch them. I think it's every one, but maybe like 3. Start almost every video the same way, okay? All right. So I'm not mad at you. Like, I just get excited sometimes. But I do promise, I know how ridiculous it sounds. I get it. I was in your boat too. All right. Cool. I haven't yelled at anybody in a while. No, whoever you got yelled at, who are you? You should feel privileged, man. A lot of my viewers miss me yelling at them. Like, they came back to get yelled at. And, like, you can look at the comments on my videos from, like, April and May and March and all that. Like, I just came to get yelled at. Like, you should feel totally privileged. I already did try that, so rewind the video. All right. All right, do we have any other questions that aren't reviewing an altcoin? I don't have a mod. Oh, let me see if I can unmute you, 𝘾𝙤𝙣𝙣𝙣𝙘. Yeah, you might have confused me, and no. Dude, I only have like one person helping me out right now, right? Like, I'm literally putting in like 16 to 20 hour days. Yesterday, I worked 20 hours. I got 2.5 hours of sleep. Like, I'm going all in on this. Let me write this down, 𝘾𝙤𝙣𝙣𝙣. I'll fix it. I'm sorry, man. Let me email it to myself real quick. 𝘾𝙤𝙣𝙣𝙣. Okay. Let's see here. So, oh yeah, it's in Kraken's above. Yeah. So, 𝘾𝙤𝙣𝙣𝙣, how am I going to find you on YouTube though? I don't know how I'm going to find you on YouTube. Muted Stevie K. Okay, good. Steve, I said, okay, you answered the question. All right. I will email myself right now and I will fix it. I apologize. But yeah, you probably did something to either confuse me or like you think you're a spammer. and I muted you. So let me do that real quick. I'm not going to unmute you because that'll take a minute, but 𝘾𝙤𝙣𝙣𝙣𝙣, and then he said Stevie K. Okay, I'll have it done by tomorrow. It might be Friday, but wait, is tomorrow Friday? I don't even know what day it is. All right. EMA settings. So you'll go up to here to indicators. If you don't have as much crap on your trading view already, it will actually say the word indicators, but it abbreviates itself to FX, kind of like in math, function of and stuff like that, but F of X. So it might say indicators for you, but then it would still have an FX by it. And all you do is type in the number 8, and it'll show up. So when you see, I'm not making funny, I'm just showing you how to do it. I think it's funny, it's this simple though, but but here's the thing though. When you see it, hit that star first before you click it, so that the next time you hit this, it shows up like this. Okay? I didn't know how to use TradingView either for like, I mean, hell, until people told me how to use it. Yeah, hopefully I haven't missed super chats and shit. I feel bad if I have. I haven't seen anything come through. Usually they come up to the top and they block everything else out. So if it's not working, then all right. All right, let me try to wrap this up. That's some good crack. Yeah, I will look at Matic. I said that's one I would look at. I will look at it. It's at the top of the ribbons, closing candles, wicking below it, but closing candle strong. I mean, let's look at the 4-hour. Yeah, it's making lower highs. Yeah, this is at risk of dropping a lot lower. Yeah, it's coming down. Yeah, you got 3 lower highs, 4-hour short-term ribbons. They typically create a nice reaction. I mean, look. They flipped here, nice reaction, flipped here, long reaction, flipped here, probably a abbreviated reaction, do something like that. So it's probably coming back down to $1.16 at least to recheck this, all this land. Or it could do a hybrid of that and that. It could come down to here and make a higher low of this. So you end up getting like some mega structure. Let me erase some of this. You could end up getting like a mega structure of, I'm not a pattern trader, but just so you can visualize what might happen here, it might turn into like some pennant. But usually what happens is you get some type of flat line at the bottom. Maybe not as far down here, but maybe it's based off like the daily candle close. So let's see where the daily candle close would be. Oh wow, the daily candle close way up here. So yeah, that's not that bad. So yeah, I could see it hitting the $1.10 pretty easily. But you're probably going to, if it does fall any farther than that, you're going to get a good reaction off of it. And it'll probably come up to here. It would probably fail, and you would know to start taking profits if you see it failing. And then it's going to break down all the way to here, and it would copy where Bitcoin did. So what Bitcoin did is it fell exactly to the low of the last market structure. And the last market structure here is right there at 68 cents. So if you want to compare that to Bitcoin, looking at its last market structure, this is its last market structure. Here's the low of it. And Bitcoin came down to test that exactly. Usually that's not how corrections happen. I mean, I usually see corrections ping off the top of it, which is kind of why I thought 40K was going to be the thing. This is way more common. It's a lot more common. Even in other like traditional assets, it's more common that it tests its previous high. But and a lot of times it'll come halfway, like maybe even more so than this. I don't know if that's accurate, but then you have 2 more options of if this structure will stop it, it's either going to be at the tippy top, somewhere in the middle where you have a lot of price action, or the very bottom. And this is by far the most likely because it happens the most. So with Matic, so with that knowledge, let's go look at Matic. This is its last market structure. So I don't know. It might have a long way to go. Let me, it might respect the 4-hour structure. It could do that because a lot of aggressive coins, when Bitcoin follows a rule on the weekly, a really aggressive coin that moves much more aggressively and is going to have better ROI over year than Bitcoin, it will do that, but on the 4-hour, not the weekly. Does that make sense? So No, that's still the same structure, isn't it? Yeah, no, it could be this one, yeah. So the last 4 hour structure was this, and that's kind of where it already tested. So if it's going to do anything again like Bitcoin tested it like twice almost. So honestly, I would look to buy it at 82 cents and consider that a good buy. And even if it ends up like, you know, a bear market continues or something and it fails way past, that you're going to get a great bounce from that. What am I doing? You're going to get a good bounce from that area with a high likelihood. It's going to bounce somewhere in that area if it does hit it at all. So if it doesn't hit it, then I would say it's going to, I don't know, probably form a diagonal somehow, probably on a daily chart, like I was saying earlier. So that's, but I would think it's going to come down and hit somewhere around here. So I would put this box as the first most, so sticking true to my like methodology, three most probable, 2 what ifs. We'll just do that right here. So most probable somewhere there. I know it's a big box, but that's the way trading is. Like, I think that's the most probable. Second most probable, I want to see what time frame has a candle close, which would make a diagonal. Candle close there. Let me look at this a little differently. Hold on. I still think it's going to hit that box, but since Matic's kind of a hot thing on the street, let me kind of show you how I like to view things first. I like to zoom in on the weekly, though. I haven't done this, so I want to take a second to do it. It got hot really fast, man. But it consolidated for a long time, so I guess it deserved it. It's a lot of, I mean, hell, how long? Yeah. And honestly, Theta did something similar. It just stayed steady, at least in market cap, for like a long time. So I guess it deserved it. And man, if I had seen this chart and had seen that it stayed steady that time, I probably would have been buying it. Like even, you know, like potentially even up here, being at a loss for a while, I would have held on to it in hopes of a bear market. I didn't know about this coin, though, at that time. Yeah, this is really strong looking. So yeah, it deserved this. This has merit. I guess it didn't get too hot. It earned it. Holy damn, 17,000. I didn't earn that. that did get a little hot. That's a massive run. Yeah, it's gonna come down. You don't go on a 17,000% run and not have a pretty big and long correction. This is gonna go sideways for like 100 days. Sideways and down. Yeah, this probably won't make all-time highs for a while. It could, though. It might make one more push and then have that correction. That's totally possible, because if Bitcoin goes up to 48K, this could push up one more time. So either this one or the next little push, and that push wouldn't be very big. It'd be like Bitcoin's relative strength going like this. Each push got smaller and smaller. So it might have one more in it. But with that said, if this is the last push it had, it'll probably be August before it makes all-time highs. At the earliest. Potentially December. So I personally, if I held Matic and I wasn't being a dork and buying it up here after a 17,000% run, hopefully you weren't buying something after a 17,000% run. I safely assume you bought it either, I don't know, here or lower. Therefore, you're in profit. With that, I would only be looking to get out of it. And waiting for a sign that its recovery is over, which I would probably put on a calendar August, the middle of August, and not even look at it till then. This lower high was a good opportunity. I don't know. Daily Stokes crossing down. It looks like it's, I don't know. I think the next lowest high will be lower than where it is now. I don't know, man. So this is not what I suggest you do, but if I held Matic and I were in profit, and for some reason I just discovered this like awesome dude named 𝐾𝙤𝙤𝙣𝙣𝙣𝙠 who taught me awesome things. I don't know, man. Before I say this, let me look at it one more way. I don't know. I personally would market sell half of my holdings of Matic. Right? Like I personally would do it immediately with the idea, if you don't agree with this analysis, then I wouldn't do it. But I think it has pressure down, and its next lower high is going to be just at the same point or lower than where it is now. And it's going to make its way towards this box. And you're not going to have a chance to sell it back here for a while. Perhaps like July, August. Would I 100 bag it, meaning sell all of it? I don't think I would if I were in profit, because I would hold on to some of it with the idea that it might try to give one more ride up if Bitcoin rallies to 48K. Yeah, it could. It might try to test its high. I would probably dump the rest of it if it got here. If Bitcoin got to 48K and Matic got here, I would sell the second half, personally. That's exactly how I would play that. But yeah, it's not going to make all-time highs for a while, and if it does, it will be just a small push up, similar to Veracity. Look. So I told people, oh my gosh, I would absolutely take profits here. You had really nasty divergence on the daily chart. It was just a very clear time, like price was getting ready to be done going up. And then obviously, since it went up just a little bit more for about 20 days, I got made fun of on YouTube for 20 days. But it didn't take long for them to realize, oh shit, this dude was right. Took a month though. And then it took them almost 2 months to realize, oh shit, he was really right. I wish we were a profit pimp and not a buyer and a prayer, thinking things go up forever. So, just don't let that happen to you, right? Am I 100% certain that that's what will happen? No. But, like, a lot of RAS people, said the same thing. I can just tell by the way it moved. It got too hot. It's and I mean, look at Veracity. It didn't do a 17,000% run. I think it's like 3,000 or something. 6,000. So it did like a 6,300% run, and it's been going down much longer and sideways. It's already got 81 days, and it's not even close to making all-time highs. Not even close. It's not even close to making a higher high. It's still making lower highs almost 100 days later after a 6,300% run. That's just what happens. So that is my suggestion to you. No, I didn't do PDEX. Harmony 1 got too out too fast. It probably looks like crap. I might be wrong, though. I haven't looked at it. I'm not really looking at altcoins a whole lot. Yeah, it's making lower highs. Oh, wait. Remember that one time when people were asking about Harmony 1 way back here and I drew an estimate of where I would buy and sell? Look how that played out. That aged rather well. Look at that. I almost freaking nailed that. I didn't see it coming down this low, though. I was thinking I would, try to buy around here or so, then sell here. But, I mean, it's general formation. It just the first move was a little more volatile than I expected. Oh, because that's when Bitcoin had that $10,000 down day. So it's a little out of the normal. But, yeah, I mean, it followed the range almost perfectly. So, People ask me about Harmony One, the same thing, and look how long it's gone sideways. Also, 84 days, still making lower highs. So you are finding yourself in a fortunate situation where you're like right, here in your Matic experience. And you're potentially going to soon find yourself here in your Matic experience. I'm telling you, it's very probable that that's what happens. Is it guaranteed to happen? No. But you're likely going to find yourself 50% down from where you are now. So, yeah, it's just how price moves when coins get too hot. They all do something extremely similar. I think one that didn't do something similar was Pirate Chain, even though it doesn't show up on frickin' TradingView anymore. I can't believe how well that did that. I guess it just didn't quite go as high as I thought it would here, but yeah, I hit that pretty nicely. Interesting. I haven't looked at that chart in quite a while. Skipping my question. All right, sorry, Jordan. Well, I mean, there are a lot of people asking questions. No, I haven't looked at leverage longs on the market because it just got freaking schooled, and I don't think that's going to play out again so soon. But I did look at the leverage longs with Bitcoin in April, and they were way too high, higher than they'd ever been. And that was one of the last videos that I made as I was yelling at everybody, I think a dump is coming before it happened. That was one of the last reiterations or the last evidence point, because I made a whole month of videos of just providing more evidence that it's going to drop as I got mocked. And that was one of them. Jordan, I'm not seeing... Maybe your question got blocked by my spam wall, buddy. I can't see it. You must have said the word profit or thanks. Don't use the word profit or thanks or investment. Yeah, it's not showing up on my end, Jordan. So don't use the word thanks, profit, or investment. Ask the question again and I go to sleep. Yeah, Joseph, on the Cryptillion, it doesn't matter. Price moves how price moves. It doesn't care if Matic is the most used blockchain network. That doesn't matter. The probability of it playing out the way I said it's probably going to play out is pretty freaking high. Okay, I've already been through a bull run, bro. Do you know all the chest pounders I saw on Cardano? Cardano's not going to be affected by the bear market. It locked up 70% of its coins, kind of like Omi Burnonomics. Cardano lost almost 99% of its value as those chest pounders were posted on Reddit doing similar stuff that you just did. Now, I'm not saying what you did is bad, but those justifications don't freaking matter. I already know this for a fact. Could it play out the way you're saying it? Yes, but it's very low probability chance. Don't freaking bet on it, man. I've seen this all play out over and over with dozens of coins, dozens of chest pounders on Reddit. My coin isn't going to do this. Burnonomics. Locking up 72% or whatever Cardano locked up. It doesn't matter. Price behaves how price behaves. Especially if it did a 17,000% run. It's not going to make all-time highs for over 100 days. And if it does make an all-time high, it'll be soon. It'll be a tiny little push-up, just peeking its head over its current all-time high, and then it'll go sideways and down for 100 days. That's very probably what's going to happen. Is that exactly what's going to happen? I don't really know. I just know that it's extremely probable, and that's all that matters when you trade. So if you're holding that, think about it. All that matters when you trade any asset is entering statistically probable trades. You mentioned something that makes you feel that up is more probable, but it isn't. I'm telling you, it's not. So what you're doing is you're entering a statistically improbable scenario. And over time, it's going to screw you. Okay? So a lot of people have given me shit about, some of my horizontals breaking down because Bitcoin took a massive poop, bigger than I expected. So stuff like ADB or Bepro. Let's pick Bepro. I really thought 1.6 cents, was going to hold. Although I let everybody know it could charge down to a penny as well. Okay, I let everybody know from the beginning. Actually, I let everybody know about that here on my March 26th video at 39 minutes and the Fireball video where the thumbnail's a Fireball at 39 minutes and 50 seconds. I tell everybody taking profits is a wise choice exactly on that day. 15 seconds later, I said it could crash down all the way to a penny. That might not be a what if. That's probably a most probable. In this, almost the same breath. Okay? So I did warn, and it fell much further, obviously. However, at the time, though, in that moment, I don't regret having the notion that at the time, trying to buy this with the idea that it might stabilize here, that was statistically probable. And if it fails it, if folks chose not to get out of their trade, I am not going to dig for you. If you see a major support break, I can't hit sell for you. I can't tell everybody to go sell the Bepro because that will, just think of my position. It'll take the price even more than it would have. You need to use me as a metal detector. I'm not your shovel. You have the shovel in your hands. You got to dig, right? So I get a lot of crap about, or ADB, my horizontal broke too. Yeah. So if it breaks, then something bad's going to happen. So get out of it. It's that simple. Especially the Bepro people, when I mentioned very clearly, a penny is a top 3 most likely. So if it breaks this support, where the hell do you think it's going? And where did it go? Right at that horizontal. Bounced off of it again, between these exact 2 horizontals that I was focusing on, and then it clearly failed. I did not expect this. But all you can do is enter statistically probable trades, get out quickly when they don't work, enter the next statistically probable trade, and in the meantime, take your freaking profits. And stop thinking you're going to write it to 10 cents. You have to take profits. So make sure those things, and I can't make people take profits. So just because I don't see something happen doesn't mean you can't use your own wisdom to say, hey, if this huge and awesome support zone breaks, what does that mean? It's going down to a penny. How far down is that? Well, let's measure. Do I want to ride this down 30%? No. So why don't you sell it? And look to get into a statistically probable trade the next time. All right, so so that's what trading's all about, man. Your statement, you're drinking the juice, and you're setting yourself up to, I don't know, just not being here. It's just such an improbable thing to be saying, man. You're setting yourself up for failure. All right. Okay, good. All right, good. All right, so I'm, like when I talk like that, I'm not mad at anybody, and I don't think anybody's stupid because I've been in your boat too. I'm here because I've been that. I've been there. Hell, I still have my NULS from 2017, and I'm still at a damn loss. I know. I literally know. I know what it's like. And after I saw everything lose 99% of its value, I said, oh, shit. But it didn't hit me until it literally lost almost everything. Imagine Cardano holders. That's the worst out of everybody. It's like the only big coin that dropped 99%. I feel bad and that's why I'm really surprised it screamed up again. Like, why didn't people learn their first lesson? I mean, I don't know, but I'm not saying Cardano's a bad project. I'm not ratting on it. Just in terms of the weakness in this bear market is bad, and I can't believe buyers came back for more. I'm actually really surprised, and that has nothing to do with the project. It could be an amazing thing, revolutionize the world, just like all the other juice drinkers. I mean, YouTube viewers who comment on YouTube are saying. But it really could. It actually, Ethereum could too. But all Ethereum's doing now is changing crypto. Ethereum hasn't done much to change the world. Like, crypto is figuring out how to fix crypto. So a lot of these oracles and cross chains and all this, it's all making crypto work. It's like crypto will be one computer. So it's like right now, it's like the 1980s. So crypto is like the 1980s. It's just one computer. All of crypto is a computer. And every coin is like a component in it. And the computers are as big as a damn house. What crypto is doing, most of it is intra-crypto. It's making itself work, and it's like making the computer smaller. And it's not going to be usable in the real world until the computer isn't as big as a house. And that's what crypto's doing. It's not necessarily changing the world quite yet at all. Bitcoin is. Bitcoin's changing the world. But DeFi could change the world before Bitcoin does, though. I will give DeFi that. DeFi has the chance to spread out in the world very quickly. If you can run a multi-billion-dollar bank with 6 employees, that won't take long to spread out at all. But outside of that, most of crypto is intra-crypto. It's making it all work together. So when you're saying it's the most used, who the hell cares? Crypto is not out there changing the world unless you're Bitcoin. Not even Ethereum is. Not even close. It's essentially this it's like a supercomputer. And no, crypto itself is like a computer right now. Ethereum is like the operating system. It's like Microsoft Windows. That's what Ethereum is. So it's making its own computer work. That's what it's doing. Yeah, like almost none of this shit's providing any real world value, folks. I hope to break it to you. Like, you're dealing with freaking penny stocks. And that's why I rip on Cardano a bit, because it's bigger than Ford Motor Company, and listen, it might be all awesome and stuff, but it's essentially a penny stock. It has no product. Why is it bigger than Ford Motor Company with 0 product and not a single sale of anything ever? Hopefully that didn't scare you, but because volatility is profitability, and in the traditional markets, penny stocks are the most volatile. But what's scary is that these freaking penny stocks get bigger than Ford Motor Company. Now, do I like trading Cardano? Hell yeah. But am I going to invest in this shit? Fuck no, I'm not. And if I did, I'm taking my profits and run. This is a penny stock worth like $50 billion in market cap. That's crazy to me. So I'm going on a rant now, and this is not a rant against Cardano. This is all of it, besides Bitcoin. This is everything. This shit is not even like okay, and I will give Omi credit. Omi is actually being used by kids, but is it providing any actual value yet? No. Once the use case changes, could it? Actually, I think it could. If NFTs could provide extra value on top of what a distributed ledger technology already is, I just don't understand FTs well enough to speak intelligently on it. I've heard other people speak. It's like an extra layer of up and above distributed ledger technology, and just like blockchain technology, everybody thought could only be used as money, and then they started providing other use cases. Like blockchain as a service, pick a brand. Like, these are all companies' penny stocks now. They're not even forms of money anymore. NFTs can branch out too. So I give Omi credit in so much that it actually was used in the real world, but it actually wasn't providing value. It wasn't providing value where value couldn't be provided somewhere else, really. But it was being used. So I do give Omi credit to that. So I'm kind of talking about our Cardano and Omi again. But I'm actually giving Omi credit. It was being used by people in the real world. And that's cool. That's actually really cool. But would I buy Omi if it was worth $50 billion? Like, with kids just playing with it on their phones? Hell no. I think that's freaking crazy. Now, it's not worth even $1 billion anymore. But that would actually be better than buying something with no product. Like, that's what, and so I'm not picking on Cardano. I'm actually picking on the whole. So I want you guys to understand the severity and the importance of taking your profits. You're dealing with shit that hasn't done anything in this world. I'm only here for the volatility to get more Bitcoin. You should, I suggest you are too. And I'm only trading alts for their volatility so I can get more Bitcoin and Monero. That's literally all I'm doing here. All this shit is just, honestly, to me, it's bullshit. But it's volatile and I love it. It's just useless. It's not even useless. It's nothing. It's still nothing. Like Cardano is nothing still. It's a bunch of 5-year promises worth $50 billion, right? And again, this is not Cardano. This is all of crypto. Maybe besides monetary coins. It's like VeChain has been making promises for 5 years too. All these partnerships, Sam's Club China, changed the world. They haven't done shit. Businesses have tested using their blockchain. Businesses are not running and being more efficient from this. Now, I think a few companies are using it to test, but its blockchain is less used than Tone by a mile. And Tone is a competitor of this, and it's worth like 14 million market cap. Well, VeChain is worth, I don't know what it's like, 6 billion or something. So again, it's still freaking useless crap full of promises. This is a penny stock worth $6 billion. So take your profits. And I'm not ripping on VeChain either. I'm not. This is all of crypto, people. Anyone that's, it is a blockchain company. These are freaking penny stocks that are honestly, they could be worth something one day, but people are betting so heavily on them before they've done anything that's jack shit worthy that they're worth $6 billion. They're worth more than Ford. They're worth more than like Honda Motor Company, Subaru Motor Company. It's not called Subaru. It's called Subaru Corporation. But these penny stocks not doing shit while cars are out getting people around to work. And these stupid ass coins doing nothing are worth more than that. That is freaking crazy. Don't be here to chest your don't chest your pound. Don't pound your chest about these coins. Use them to take profits and then get more Bitcoin. I'm telling you. All right, I'll end on that. Y'all just got typified. I haven't yelled at people in a while.